Well, all good things come to an end. This is the last new episode of the Saturday Morning Hustle podcast. Stick around and I'll explain why the show's coming to an end, what happens next, and recap multiple conversations we've had over the last 7 years. It's Saturday. I'm in the office. You know what that means, the Saturday Morning Hustle podcast. No hyperbolic hustle culture, just brutally honest, straightforward business advice and motivation every Saturday for entrepreneurs, business owners, or anyone pursuing success. You can't just work 9 to 5 Monday through Friday and hope to become the next big thing. You gotta work smart, work hard, put in extra effort while everyone else is sleeping, playing games, or wasting time. Maximize bonus time to get more work done. This podcast is for anyone willing to come in early, stay late, hustle on the weekend to be truly great. That's right. Can you believe it? We've been making Saturday Morning Hustle social media posts, short form podcast, long form podcast, YouTube videos, etc. for 7 years now. This is episode 375, and this is the last new original episode of the podcast. I'll explain that a little bit more detail in just a second, but I want to begin this conversation by thanking each and every one of you, anyone who's ever listened to this podcast. If this is your first episode, go back and check out the rest. If this is your 375th episode, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys tuning in 10, 20, 30 minutes on a Saturday for some motivation, some advice, some tips, some tricks, some conversation. Sometimes I ask you questions, but often I'm just telling you about things I'm experiencing in my professional life, personal life, and how they correlate in the role of a hustler, a grinder, someone who comes in the office on Saturday to get a little bit of extra work done. There's advantage to working on Saturday. Phones aren't ringing, email isn't happening. There's a lot less activity. There's no one else in the building. You can get a lot of work done, bonus work. And that's really the 2024 definition of hustle, is doing extra, not because you're ignoring family, ignoring friends, ignoring your health or sleep or anything of that nature, but finding ways to spend time being productive, working smart and working hard, doing a little bit more, investing in yourself, whether it's working for yourself and building your brand, promoting your podcast, your products, your business, being an entrepreneur, or creating your self-brand, extending your career, learning something to make you a better employee for someone else, a better citizen, a better part of our community, whatever it is. It's what I've been trying to do on this podcast. So a little bit of quick history. Then I'll tell you what happens next for this channel and for this brand. And then we'll rediscuss some of the topics and some of the conversations we've had over the last 7 years to kind of remind you what it's all about. And you can go find some of those topics and some of those episodes if you didn't hear them the first time, or you want to hear it again the second time. So first of all, the Saturday Morning Hustle history. We started as social media posts. I was going to the office on Saturday to get a little bit of extra work done, that 8 to noon period where I was really feeling productive and was making some really kind of playful, almost joking Saturday Morning Hustle podcast about our podcast social media post using the hashtag Saturday Morning Hustle of real hustlers, real grinders, real entrepreneurs. We're in the office on Saturday, outwork the competition, hustle and grind, rise and grind, all of that good stuff, hustle culture, you know what I'm talking about. And this was 2017 when we started this, as some Twitter post, then eventually some Instagram post. It was just a still photo, sometimes of donuts, sometimes of coffee, sometimes of an empty hallway in the building. This is back when we were at 1219 Creative, and just trying to get everyone sort of motivated to get up, get hustling, take advantage of that extra time. So from that, it elevated into short form video. And this was cell phone video. This was not anything as elaborate and as professional of a production as that we're dealing with today. Here I've got a full-fledged camera, a microphone. I've got a light right here. I've got the recorder. I've got all kinds of cables and wires going in. Eventually I'm going to edit this on a beautiful piece of software on a great computer. Like, it used to just be things you could do on a cell phone because I was doing it quick while I was actually working. So the social media post with photos and some text and evolved into some short form videos, typically about a 1 or 2 minute video, mostly because that's what social media was supported at the time with again, a very simple message. Hey, I'm in the office. I'm hustling. I'm grinding. You can be motivated. You can do it too. If I can do it, you can do it. Believe to achieve, all that good stuff. Earn it, even on the weekend. All those great hashtags, all those great ideas anyone could apply to anything that they're pursuing. Eventually, the Anchor app came out, was on a smartphone app, a free smartphone app that you could make 5-minute podcast, right? Native in the app, using the microphone on the phone itself. Very simple, very easy, and another elevation of the message I was trying to convey during the Saturday Morning Hustle. So now, instead of having 1 minute to give you motivation or advice, I had 5 minutes, and occasionally you can make 2 or 3 segments of 5 minutes each on the Anchor app. And so I could make 5, 10, 15-minute episodes. Those are some of the flashback episodes that I've been sharing recently, and I'll be sharing more of in the future in case you've missed them the first time around. So they were, again, simplest version of a podcast. Me talking into my phone while drinking a cup of coffee at the office about business, about marketing specifically is what I do, about social media, about podcasting themselves, that process, all kinds of things that I was sort of encountering in my life, whether I was explaining to a client, coaching someone up, mentoring, having someone explain to me maybe something I learned or something I applied to my business that week. I then came to the Saturday Morning Hustle and explained it to you guys or told you about it or elaborated on a tip or trick I had ran into or helped you avoid a mistake or a failing I'd seen someone else do in that time. And occasionally I was really kind of sub-messaging certain people who weren't listening to advice I was giving them directly. So I was giving everyone the same advice without naming names, of course, or embarrassing anyone, trying to drive those messages home, helping you guys do better at what you do, and kind of reinforcing in myself the right way to do things and how to be helpful to other people, the social and social media, trying to create dialogue and interaction between myself and all of you. So that's how the Saturday Morning Hustle evolved from social media post into the short form podcast. Eventually, the Anchor app became a longer format for recording. It's now owned by Spotify, so it's gone through a few different versions of what that is and has been. It's been a great home. I'm really appreciative of the people at Anchor, now owned by Spotify, for allowing me to get started in podcasting. So eventually adding a full-fledged camera, adding better microphones, creating a space, first at 1219 Creative, then at Project 3810, and then now here where the Golden Group home has been for the last year and a half at the Better Business Bureau of Central Oklahoma, the BBB. That's where I'm at in this beautiful hallway that I'm recording the podcast today. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see how cool this building is. And all of this was the evolution of it. And I think that's another lesson in and of itself, is that you can create something that is very simple, that is just an idea of how to reach out to people, how to connect with people, how to provide value in some way. And that thing can kind of take on a life of its own. Maybe what you envisioned it to be, it could go in different directions as long as you follow the potential for success. This is what happened here. I probably had no idea I would have such an elaborate setup. I didn't know I would do 375 episodes of this podcast when I was started just using a hashtag Saturday Morning Hustle on Twitter on a Saturday in 2017. So that's the evolution of the podcast. Here's the future of the podcast. Like I said, this is the last original episode. This is the last time I'm going to look right into the camera and talk to you. I'm going to continue sharing past episodes. Like I said, there's 375 of them. So I'm going to be sharing some of this stuff from early 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020 that you might have missed, you might not be familiar with. That is still great content. And I'm going to share some of the top rated episodes as well. The ones that have the most downloads, the most listens to, or the most interactions on social media. They're going to be being replayed each week, reposted for the rest of 2024. We should come out to episode 400 right around Christmas time, and that will be the completion of the Saturday Morning Hustle podcast series. The SaturdayMorningHustle.com, the swag store, and those podcasts will stay viable. There just will no longer be new episodes or repeat episodes. The series will end, but this website will be there. You can get some swag if you want for yourself or other people, or check out past episodes. I'll still be on social media on most Saturdays, kind of interacting, talking about the past episodes that I'm reposting. But I have to do a little bit less work on Saturday, a little bit less focus and attention on the Saturday Morning Hustle because of my career change, because Golden Group is becoming the side project, and my main job is going to be I'm becoming the director of corporate relations for the University of Oklahoma City. I almost messed up my own job title. Director of Corporate Relations for the Minder School of Business at Oklahoma City University, OCU. So my professional life is changing how much effort I could put into the Saturday Morning Hustle, but the timing is right. 375 episodes is a lot. I have a lot of great content to share over the next 25 weeks until we get to episode 400. And I think at that point in time, I can call it a complete success. In the end on episode 400, end on 7 at that point, going into 8 years of production. Most podcasts do not ever attain those numbers. So I'm proud of the effort. I'm happy with the way it's come about, and I'm happy the way that we're ending. So we're ending this together. I wanted you guys to know what was happening. I wanted to talk directly to you. I want to look you in the face and say, I appreciate you being a part of this. I appreciate the feedback I get on social media. I really, totally, absolutely appreciate the feedback I get in real life. When I meet people I know who come up to me at the gym or at a bar or at an event, or people that I've never met who come up to me in real life and say, I listen to the podcast, I get value from it, I feel like it's part of my routine. I look forward to it every Saturday. It makes me feel very, very proud to be part of that process, very happy to be helpful, again, to be providing value for you as well. That's the whole point of doing this. So, and I hopefully have inspired maybe you to get a little extra work done on Saturday or Sunday, come in early, stay late, however it works out for you, for your lifestyle, to hustle without grinding yourself to death, without ignoring your work-life balance, but doing things that make sense to you, that are beneficial to you, that allow you to follow your passions or create something new or elevate your career or just earn more for yourself and your family. Those are the things I've been trying to do on this podcast. Those are the common themes that we've talked about. Some of the common specifics that we've discussed in this podcast, and again, you can go back and find on any of the past episodes, we have talked about what hustle means, what it means to be a hustler, what it really means, not just talk, not just bravado, not just, the social media guys who are out there showing you their fake Rolexes and fake Lamborghinis and that kind of stuff, but real hustle and grind, work ethic that can allow you to be successful at whatever you do in a project, in your business, in your career, in any effort that you're putting forward, as well as, so we've talked about effort and grind, we've talked about work ethic, talked about motivation, how to get up, how to stay motivated, how to avoid things like imposter syndrome that can demotivate you, bring you down, how to not think about competition or competitors as people you need to beat. You don't need to punch them in the face. You don't need to kick them out of the way. You just need to do what you do in a great way, connect with the right audiences, with the right message, be consistent, offer value, and you will attract the attention that you're looking for. You don't have to worry about blocking out or stopping competitors. They're not people you need to crush or get over on top of. You just need to find an avenue that works best for you, the channels that work best for you. We talked about how to use podcasts, how to use social media, how to use your website, how to use SEO, how to handle your business without getting taken advantage of by customers, by vendors, by anyone else. We had talked about relevant things such as management lessons from the movie Roadhouse and other types of pop cultural references, sports references. We talked about Toby Keith when he passed away. We talked about Kobe Bryant. We talked about other great individuals, whether they're still with us or they've passed on, who we could take lessons from. We talked about going to rodeos. We've talked about not looking apart or not judging people by how their appearance is. Don't judge a book by its cover. If you're wearing a suit, if you're wearing a t-shirt, if you've got glasses, if you're tall, if you're short, whatever it is that someone would perceive about you, they might be right, they might be wrong, they might be missing an opportunity if they judge people too harshly. We've talked about how to engage people's emotion and how to use things like public relations and education and community building, how to draw people around you and to what it is you're doing, not selling them things, but giving them opportunities to engage with you to receive the value that you're presenting, for you to present something at a value, at a profit to you. That's how business works. So explain that process as well. So we've done some things that are irreverent and funny and fun. We've done things that are motivational and inspiring, hopefully. We've done things that are very specific in business knowledge and things that tactically you need to know, to understand, to be strategic, to be tactical, the differences between them, how to measure success, how to take failures, setbacks, and other things and turn that into positives and create momentum when something maybe looks negative or unexpected outcomes, and how to make the best of that, how to find the silver lining in a cloud, if you will. These are some of the topics that we've covered on this podcast, some of the ideas we've come at. I tried to find different angles, different versions, different updates to that advice to continually give you, to make you feel engaged, to make you feel like this information is fresh. I've learned along the way too. I've had some updates, some episodes where I've updated previous ideas. I think some of the hustle and grind that I had the first couple of years, I've replaced recently with more about work-life balance, about finding the extra time as opposed to just simply outworking other people, because you can work yourself to death. The common themes: earn it, work smart, and work hard. You have to do both. And even on the weekend, if you're dedicated, if you're inspired, if you're motivated, if there's something you want to do for yourself, if you want to make better for yourself, whether it's your business and your career or just getting ahead in any way, being a better person, get yourself even physically fit. I get a lot of interactions with a lot of fitness people on social media because they think the motivation that we talk about and the Saturday morning hustle is really going to the gym on Saturday, which is perfectly fine. I go to the gym on Saturday too, but we're talking about business, we're talking about careers, but it's funny how there's crossover there. So all of that comes together. There's the lessons you can apply to anything that you're trying to do in life. You can achieve great things if you go about it in the right way, if you have the right mindset, if you're willing to put in work as needed, when needed, to keep a good attitude about it, not let setbacks slow you down or stop you, learn lessons when things don't work out as you would hope that they would, and continue moving forward, looking for the opportunity, seizing on the opportunity when it comes. And even though ultimately what you'll define as success, and you get to define success for yourself, not anyone else, but ultimately what happens that you will call successful, that you will feel successful about, is probably not what you envisioned in your head when you set out to do something, and that's okay. That's how it happens. That's how it goes. You can't be rigid and structured so much in what success means to you that you miss the opportunities around you. These are the common themes of the Saturday Morning Hustle. I want you to continue to listen to those past episodes. I want you to continue to look at the previous social media posts, to take all that content in, use it. It's free. It's there for you. Use it, share it with your friends, motivate someone else, inspire someone else, educate someone else. If someone has a problem that you're not sure what the answer about, go look on SaturdayMorningHustle.com and see if we've covered that subject and see if there's something I said on that podcast that can help them or you get over that hump, get around an unexpected outcome, to overcome a setback, to jump over a hurdle, and ultimately get to that success you're looking for. That's the point of the Saturday Morning Hustle. That's what I want from you as we wrap this up, as we conclude this, as we end this. So you know the history, you know the topics we've discussed, you know why we did it, you understand my motivation, you know what the future looks like for this podcast. So now I'm going to tell you, it's Saturday, I'm in the office, you're in the office, you're listening to the Saturday Morning Hustle, you're already halfway there to being successful. I appreciate you very much. Share with your friends. Tell other people about the podcast. It still exists. It's not going away. Just new episodes are not coming. But people could check it out if they haven't before. I appreciate it. If you want some swag, you know how to find that as well. One more time, I want to thank you. I want to thank anyone who's listened to this podcast once, or 375 times, or 50 times, or 42 times, or 9 times. Not 909. We've done a lot of episodes. I'm very proud of the product. Very happy to be coming to a conclusion with it. I'm happy to share the best stuff with you. I'm looking forward to hearing from you on social media and other outlets. I wish you all the best of luck. Goodbye. Thanks for listening. Subscribe so you never miss an episode. Leave a comment, leave a review, share with a friend. I would really appreciate that. Follow and engage on social media, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and the Saturday Morning Hustle Facebook fan page. All the information, all the past episodes, all the Saturday Morning Hustle, Entrepreneur AF, and Coffee and Donut swag is at SaturdayMorningHustle.com.